Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be talking about arguably the best event in Rise of Kingdoms. That is the Commander Swap event. This event comes around at the end of KVK2. As you can see here on this account, KVK2 ends in a couple of hours. It is a 5-day event, and it only comes around once per account. So when it comes around, you got to make sure you get the most out of it. If you didn't get the most out of it and you migrate and redo KVK2, you do not get this event again. It comes around once. Okay, so before we start, a few things to keep in mind. You only get 2 commander swaps. Okay? It doesn't matter how small or big those swaps are, you can only do 2. You can only swap commanders that you've already recruited. We're going to talk more about this in a minute. And if you migrate during the event, you will no longer be able to participate in the event regardless of anything. If you migrate while this event's happening, the event's gone. So if you're going to migrate or you plan on migrating, make sure you get the most out of this before you go. Okay, and another thing to remember is not all of your commanders are eligible for the event. So for instance, Hannibal Barca, Minamoto, who you get in the VIP packs, you cannot swap them. You also cannot swap Ethelfled, who you get from the solo campaign. And you cannot swap any of the 3 gathering commanders. You can swap any gold key commander and any of the Wheel of Fortune commanders or commanders you get from other events in, for instance, KVK Reward. Okay? So this event, you get to swap a KVK1 or KVK2 commander with a Endgame Season 3 Season of Conquest commander. And when I say swap, what I mean is you will be swapping the level, the star level, and the skill level of your KVK 1/2 commander with your endgame commander. Okay? And you might be thinking right now, as it says, you have to swap commander you've already recruited. As you can see on this old farm account, I'm just at the end of KVK2, I do not own any of these commanders. Okay? If I try clicking select and say, can't do it. Okay? So it brings me to this event. This event runs for 5 days at the exact same time as the swap event. Gathering of Heroes. In this event, you can recruit commanders to then swap. Okay, so don't worry. You can get your hands on those endgame commanders to swap. We're going to come back to that event in a couple minutes. A couple more things about the commander swap event. So, to swap commanders, now I don't have any commanders to swap to, so I can't show you this, but you need commander swap tickets. Okay? You can buy a maximum of 120. Cost 100 gems each, so that'll cost you 12,000 gems. Okay? To get the full 120. Now, you maybe won't need the full 120. If you are swapping a expertise, so if this is a KVK 1 or 2 commander that's expertise, with a newly summoned, like level 1, skill level 1 commander, it will cost 120 tickets. So that is the full 12,000. You can only buy 120. Okay? The greater difference between these 2 commanders, the greater the ticket cost. So if your commander does not have max skills, isn't max level, star level, the ticket cost will be less. Now, the skill level is what plays the biggest role. If you have a level 50 or level 40 commander, that's only 4 stars, but is expertise, it is still going to cost almost that full 120 tickets. Okay? But if you have a, for instance, 551 commander, 5551 commander, it only costs 72 tickets, so it's almost half the price. Just by that last skill not getting maxed out, because that last skill costs about 300 heads. It's only like halfway to maxing, which is why it costs almost half as much. Another thing, when you transfer this over, if you have like a 5-2-3-5 commander, when you transfer it, it's gonna also be a like 5-2-3-5. It's not gonna move those levels around. Okay. Another thing to keep in mind, if we go look at my Pyrus, for instance, when you swap a commander, okay. So for instance, let's say I was gonna swap this Pyrus to King Arthur. My King Arthur will become a 3-1 commander, level 15, I believe it is. But these 12 heads here, these 12 heads don't turn into King Arthur heads. These stay as Pyrus heads. Okay? So when I get my King Arthur, he's going to be 3-1, and he's going to be 0 out of 15 on this next level up. So if this were my account and I planned on swapping Pyrus, now I don't have any gold heads at the moment, but if I did have 3 gold heads, I would use these 3 to get my Pyrus up one more level, because then I can turn these 12 Pyrus heads into King Arthur heads with that level up. Okay, so these do not transfer over. Only the full skill levels up, so keep that in mind. Okay, when we get back to the ticket cost really quick, I mentioned that you can only buy 120. And if you have an expertise commander going to a just summon commander, it's going to cost you that full 120. Well, you get 2 swaps, so how does that work if you use them all? If you're free to play, unfortunately, that might be all you can do. But, oh my god. Super value bundles, oh boy. This. I'm in Canada, so it's $7, but the $5 bundle if you're in the US, 12 tickets, you can purchase it a maximum of 10 times. Okay, so this is where you can get a second 120 tickets. So you could potentially get 2 expertised endgame commanders out of this. And this is where the value of this event really comes in. Because we know a good value for a gold head, universal gold head, is about 1,000 gems. Now, of course, you get them for free and you get them from VIP and different events like that. But one thing we kind of use to judge the quality of an event is what's the price or the average price of the gold heads in that event. If it's around 1,000 gems, it's usually fairly good value for them. Okay, 690 sculptures to expertise a commander at 1,000 gems a pop, 690,000 gems. Now, of course, you're not going to actually pay that because there's so many free heads you get from different events and blah blah blah. But still, this is 12,000 gems that you can use to basically get a 690 gold head value. Okay, you only get to do it once, so make sure you do it right. Now, let's talk about the Gathering of Heroes event, as this is really important, and I feel like a lot of people who made videos on the swapping event kind of overlooked this event. Okay, so you get 3 daily quests: log in, defeat barbarians, gather resources. You can get 18 of these recruit tokens from these events. The event's on for 5 days, so that's a total of 90 of these recruit tokens. I'm going to skip those for a minute. You get these one-time quests. Okay, these don't reset daily or anything like that. You can only do them once. Log in for 5 days, so that one should be pretty easy. This will get you to 100, which is the cost of your first summon. Well, this with your daily, the 90 from the daily gets you 100 for your first summon. And then you get 20 for spending 10,000 gems. Now, there's a decent chance you're going to spend 12,000 gems on your tickets. So this one should almost be a freebie. Okay. Spend 50,000 gems. That's a big one. Okay. You may want to, and I'll talk about it in a minute, but you may want to save up 50,000 gems. So if you're early KVK2 or you're still ways away from this event, this is your warning. Try and save up gems. And then increase troop power by 600,000. This is the equivalent of training 150,000 tier 4 units or 60,000 tier 5 units. You know this event is coming. You could go into your boosts and use some of these troop expansions when you find like a training ruin or the Kingdom buff is on, and train some troops in advance. That way when this event does pop up, you're pretty far along in it, and you don't have to like have days and days and days of speed ups to troop train. You can get this 100. Okay. So this is where we're going to circle back to the 50,000 gems. So these are repeatable quests. You can do these as many times as you want. Spend 2,000 gems. So if you complete the 50,000 gem one, you can complete this one at the same time. So you're going to complete this 25 times. Okay. Which is a lot. That is about, what, 750 tokens there, I believe. Let's check. Yeah, 750 recruitment tokens if you spend 50,000 gems. Just from this, plus the 100 from here is 850. And that may seem like a lot, okay? But when we go to the commanders, we'll notice it costs 100. So you might be thinking, okay, if I spend 50,000 gems, 750 tokens, plus the other ones I'm doing, I can recruit like 10 of these endgame commanders. Not quite. The first one costs 100. Every commander after that costs 500. So if you want to recruit 2 commanders, you're going to need 600 of these tokens. Okay? I have a little Excel sheet here I put together. Gathering encounters event. If you want to summon 1, it's going to cost 100. Total needed 100 of those tokens. If you want to summon 2, second one costs 500. You're going to need 600 of those tokens. You want to summon 3 commanders, which I'm going to talk about why this 3 is important. You're going to need 1,100 tokens in total. Okay? And so on and so forth, etc., etc. You just keep adding 500. The reason these are in red is that all the information I can find only talked about like the 3rd or 4th commander being 500. I couldn't find anything that confirmed all of the others are 500. So these prices may be different. But I can confirm from also doing this event in the past with a different account that the first 3 are 100, 500, 500. Okay, so just keep this in mind if you plan on summoning a lot. When this event comes around on my main account, I will confirm these numbers because I do plan on summoning at least 3, so I can confirm the 4th, probably the 5th as well. Okay, so we get a total of 90 from the dailies, 230 tokens from the one-time deals. This includes spending the 50,000 gems. So tickets-wise, we are going to get 90 from the dailies, okay? If we complete all the quests every day for 5 days. 230 from the one-time events. This includes the 50,000 gem milestone. So that gets us to 320 total tokens we can use to recruit commanders. Okay, 320. I'm going to put that there. That's 320 for those two together. And if we spend 50,000 gems, we are going to have 750 from the doing this one, the 2,000 gems. You get 30 for. We're going to finish it 25 times for spending 50,000 gems. That's 750, which puts us at what will that be? 1,070. Okay, which means we are 30 tokens away from this 1,100. Which means we need to finish this 480 minutes 15 times, which is super easy. You can spend something to spend a couple thousand speed up minutes on. And the reason this 3 summoning is really important is because of these barriers in summoning commanders. Okay, as you can see, to unlock Liu Che, which is currently the best infantry commander in the game, you should be getting him, you should be swapping to him. I need to recruit 2 more commanders. So I need to recruit 2 and then him. That's 3 total commanders. So I want 1,100 total tokens. Okay? The nice thing about these is it doesn't matter what troop type you do, it's going to take away one of these. So if I summon King Arthur, who is currently the best commander in the game, this is going to go down to 1. This is going to go down to 1. This is going to go down to 1. I just need to get summon one other of these commanders, and then I will unlock the ability to summon Liu Che. If you don't want to spend 50,000 gems, which understandably is a lot of gems, you can also hoard some speed ups. Okay, so every 83.3 days of speed ups is going to get you 500 of those gathering tokens. Okay, you need to complete this quest 250 times, 480 minutes times 250, 120,000 minutes. Turn it into days, 83.3 days of speed ups for additional summon. Okay, so that brings up the question, who should you be summoning with this event, and what should your kind of strategy be? Okay, you want to summon and swap to Liu Che at the time of making this video. Okay, if you see this video in the future, make sure you check out YouTube, other places to see who the best meta commanders are in the game before you swap. So at the time, it's Liu Che. In a year, 2 years from now, he might not be one of the best, and you're going to want to swap to somebody else. So, the next is Arthur. He is currently the best commander in the game. Okay? Now, you're going to be going into Season 3 with these commanders. So you're going to want to pair them with somebody. They don't really fit with each other. Like, there's no chemistry. They don't work together. None of their skills really help each other out, and they're also infantry cavalry. Okay. Now, if you have an Alexander the Great from KVK2 and you didn't swap him, he pairs really good as a secondary to Liu Che. Bai Q is on his way into the game. He's a new commander. You won't see him on here. He's not officially in the game yet. He is going to be the new best pairing with Liu Che. But at the moment, it's LC and Alexander the Great. Now, if you're at the end of KVK2, you did not invest in Alexander the Great. Do not invest in Alexander the Great now. Okay, he's a KVK2 commander. His days are very limited. But if you did happen to invest in him, he goes really good with LC. When it comes to cavalry, you're going to want Arthur. Okay, he is currently the best commander in the game. That is not up for debate. His best pairing is Huo primary, King Arthur secondary. I would not recommend at the time of this video investing in Huo as someone who's just ending KVK2. And the reason being is he is probably going to get power crept out right away. The Nevsky Joan is probably one of the best. It's probably the second best cavalry march, okay, or Joan Huo. Okay, so you might be able to keep the Huo alive for a little bit. But as we just saw with infantry, William Wallace came out. He was a little disappointing, but he is a Smite commander. Liu Che is a Smite commander. Bai Q, who just came out, or Bai Qi. Bai Qi is also a Smite commander, and he's going to pair really well with Liu Che. The next Cav release, 99% sure, it is going to be a combo commander that's going to go with King Arthur, and then you're not going to have anywhere for your Huo to go. Unless you're a Mega Whale who's got so many heads and you're going to be able to put 5 marches out there in Season 3, I wouldn't invest many gold heads into Huo. What I would recommend is picking up Philip and sticking him behind King Arthur. Okay? Or putting Philip primary, putting King Arthur behind him so that he is a skill damage commander. The reason for that is Philip is a leadership commander. If you look at like his second skill, depending on troop type, he gets a lot of bonuses. He has some instant proc damage. He's a very strong commander who you can pair with anyone. If you invest in Philip and then there's a new Cav commander that comes out, you can invest in that new Cav commander, put him with Arthur, okay? Then you already have Liu Che and you know Bai Chi's coming. You can invest in Bai Chi, put him with Liu Che. And then maybe a new archer comes out that's really good. Or maybe you have Shajar. You can put Philip with Shajar. Maybe another leadership commander comes out. You can put Philip anywhere to fill out the holes in that roster. So he is a really strong choice. At the end of the day, it's wherever you want to spend your resources. If there's commanders you really like or you think look really fun, that's where you can invest it. But if you want the best performance on the open field, swap to Liu Che, King Arthur, and then try and summon Philip and possibly William Wallace or possibly Bai Chi if he's in the game by then. Okay? Best of luck, and we will see you in the next video.